Summer racing continues from the spa, and this time it's time to mow the lawn in the Sword Dancer. Competitive field going a mile and a half, and it's a grade one for 850,000 smackers. Let's take a look at the rail. Proven Reserves, this cleverly named horse for the Banker Boys, Klaravich Stables. He's lost his last two races, both in 2019. Now, last year he started off with a lot of promise. He opened up with a 6-length win back in 2018 in April, and then came back and won an allowance non-winners of 1, and then he kind of only ran one more time as a 3-year-old. I think this horse has got a little bit of a potential. I'm not sure this is the spot moving straight into grade 1 company. He's 30-1 in the morning line, but I do think there's still a little bit of upside here, and I could see him as a 5-year-old being by Flatter out of Empire Maker, really liking the added ground, a mile and a quarter, mile and a half races. I'm just not sure he's ready for the deep end at this point. Meanwhile, Tiz Morning gets the 2 spot, and this horse won for 14 lifetime, 50-1 in the morning line, comes out of a claiming 50,000 race at Saratoga. I think he's over his head. I think he's going to be 30 to 40-1, and it's hard to make a case, especially since his best races are at 7 furlongs and a mile. I just don't see him getting a mile and a half, and I think he's entered just for the scenery here at Saratoga. Noble Thought, another long shot on the morning line, 30-1. You know, his best races, he's ran in some $25,000 claimers. He was actually claimed for 17.5. Another one, he's just outclassed. I think they're kind of filling up the field here. He's a 6-year-old horse. Don't really see a lot of upside. Now, Channel Cat upset the field the last time out at 14-1 in the Bowling Green. That was a grade 2. He ran close in the grade 1 United Nations handicap at Monmouth, and it was kind of surprising that they let him slide up to 13-1 in his most recent race. He keeps his jockey. Now, the last time out, I think he kind of took one over on the field, kind of got loose, and was able to pick up the wire-to-wire victory. I think they're gonna keep a little more of an eye on Channel Cat this time. So when you handicap this race, you're going to want to see how far can Channel Cat take him. If he wants to go on the front end, a soft course may help those endeavors. But meanwhile, he has run some competitive races from off the pace. I think slow fractions are probably more the key for Channel Cat. So if you think the pace is going to be slow, you may want to consider Channel Cat in your tickets. Pillar Mountain, Todd Pletcher trained, 3 for 6 lifetime, comes off a couple of back-to-back wins, moves up to grade 1 company, and got some European breeding, got some distance pedigree, ran a mile and 3/8 at Saratoga last year as a 3-year-old. So he is kind of intriguing. Again, another one who comes from off the pace. He's going to probably want a little bit more pace in the field, and he'll try to come from behind. Primo was bet down to under 4-1 in his most recent race. That was his first start since March in Chile. Should improve that second time off the layoff. He's going to be my selection, Primo. I think he's going to like the distance, should like the mile and a half. That's really right up his sweet spot. And I think he gets a little better trip with a little bit more pace this time for Primo. Annals of Time, back to the grade 1 company, ran in the Hollywood Derby last year, won that race, a grade 1 back in 2016 actually. Then he was off all of 2018 and came back with a strong 4-length win the last time out. He's rounding back into form, only 7 lifetime races for the 6-year-old, and he'll probably be the post-time favorite. If not Primo, it will be Annals of Time. Channel Maker, Bowling Green the last time out. He was the favorite in that race, lost to Channel Cat, lost to Bricks and Mortar, and then won a race 3 back in the Man o' War, a grade 1. He's in top form right now, and he fits in the class condition. Joel Rosario rides. He's his regular jock. I guess you either can make a case for Channel Maker, Channel Cat, or Primo, and you may also want to make a strong case coming from behind for Channel Maker. Meanwhile, Sadler's Joy, 1 race this year. He was bet down a little bit the last time. He likes the full fields. He gets a 9-horse field this time. Had ran competitively last year in several races, and so now the key here for Sadler's Joy, he was going to want some pace to run at, and he needs to improve in his second race of the year. This is an interesting turf race. I think 3 or 4 of these horses could be entered at the end of the year in the Breeders' Cup Turf or maybe even the Breeders' Cup Mile. My selection is Primo. You can make the case for Channel Maker or Channel Cat. Sadler's Joy also going to take a lot of beating on the tote board. It's a very interesting renewal of the grade 1 Sword Dancer on the turf at Saratoga. Meanwhile, I've got previews up this week for the Forgo, the Travers Stakes, and the Personal Ensign. Who do you like in the Sword Dancer? This is a very competitive race. Make sure to like the videos or subscribe so you can see when new videos are added. The more subscribers, the more videos we get here at the Derbyologist channel. And should be a great Sword Dancer. Good luck with all the races on Saturday. Hit that subscribe or like button, and we'll have more races as summer racing continues up to the Breeders' Cup.